10% of 470, right? And percentage, we already know that percent is nothing else but divided by 100, right? So if you have a percent, that is nothing else but divided by 100. So if you have 10%, right, 10% of 470, so 10% is 10 divided by 100. Of means to multiply, and 470 as it is the number itself. So 0 gets cancelled here, 0 gets cancelled here. So as simple, so it will be 47. That will be the answer. Option B being the correct one here. Okay, now starting with the question, there is an equation which is given to you, 4x plus 6 is equal to 18, which equation has the same solution as the given equation. And if we can understand, that's an equation with one variable, right? And these are the constants, that is 6 and 18. So we can easily write that it's a monomial, right? It's only one variable which is there, right? One variable which is there. So that will be the case. And we can just say that 4x will be nothing else but 18 minus 6. 6 goes to the right hand side. So it will be 12. 4x is equal to 12. All the options has 4x in it. It is actually option C being the correct one here, right? So that's the question from algebra. Let's now move to the next question. Okay, starting with the third question, it says that the total cost in dollars to rent a surfboard consists of a $25 service fee and a $10 per hour rental fees. A person rents a surfboard for 40 hours and intends to spend a maximum of $75 to rent the surfboard. Which inequality represents this situation? So what we understood from the question, can we say that there is a service fees? Let's understand together. Service fees that is given as $25, right? So how much is that? And there is an hourly rental fees. So how much is the rental fees? Rental fees that is given as for 1 hour, that is $10, right? So for 1 hour rent, the rent is going to be $10, right? That's the question. A person rents for T hours. So if a person rents for T hours, for 1 hour cost is $10. So renting for T hours must have costed $10. That will be the cost of renting for T hours. So can we say that total cost will be how much? Total cost of renting, total cost must be 25, which is the fixed cost, right? That's the service cost, plus the rental cost, that is 10T. And the question says that the person intends to spend a maximum of 75. That means total cost cannot be greater than 75, maximum 75. So this cost will be either less than or equal to 75. It can't be greater than 75 maximum, right? This cost will be less than or equal to, and how much is total cost? That is 25 plus 10T should be less than equal to 75. That's our equation which we have got. Let's check the options which suits the case. So 10T less than 75. No, there is no component of 25 we require as well. A goes away. 10 plus 25T. No, it is 25 plus 10T. Option B as well. 25T, not at all. 25 plus 10T less than $75. Option D being the correct one here. Let's now try the next question. Okay, now starting with the question. The question says the function g is defined by gx is equal to x square plus 9, for which values of x is gx is equal to 25. Right? We'll solve this question with respect to two options or the two approaches, right? Let's take approach one, and you should know both the approaches. Okay, what does question say? That gx value is actually gx is x square plus 9, and gx value is given as 25. So this is actually equal to 25. Right now, from the options, right, the approach one is using the options. That is the best approach to use. Why? Because then probably you can do a lot of questions and save at least 10 to 15 seconds on one particular question. So if you can reduce your time and get the answer in a lesser amount of time, that approach should be taken in the exam. Now, starting with the first one. So option A gives the value of x as 4. So let's substitute here 4. So 4 square, what is 4 square, right? Let's say 4 square plus 9. 4 square, 16, 16 plus 9, that is 25, right? We are getting by substituting x as 4 as 25, x square plus 9, that comes out to 25, which is a good option to hold on. So we have not eliminating the option. Let's try option B now. Option B gives 5. So let's substitute x as 5. So 5 square plus 9, that is 25, plus 9, that is 34. No, we do not require 34, we require 25. B goes away. Let's try for C. 9 squared plus 9, that is 81, plus 9, that is 90. Obviously, it can't be. If it's not for 5, it can't be for 9. Even it can't be for D. So option A being the correct one here, right? So try using the options. SAT requires you to solve not with the conventional approach, have a reasoned approach and try solving the question with respect to the options. And you can find a lot of questions on the SAT to solve with the options. Now, approach 2, let's try approach 2, which is a generic approach using algebra. We already understood that x square plus 9 is equal to 25, right? That's given in the question, x square plus 9, and that is equal to 25. Solving it algebraically, so 25, 9 goes to the other side. So 25 minus 9, that is going to be 16. That means if x square is 16, x will be taking square root on both the sides. X will be plus or minus 4. Now x is given as positive answer. Only negatives are not given in the options. That means again we are getting option A being the correct one. So I'm okay with both. You should know both the approaches. Try solving and looking at the question with respect to the options and try solving with the options as well. Okay, let's now try the next question. Okay, now starting with the question, it says that each face of a fair 14-sided die is labeled with a number from 1 through 14, with a different number appearing on each face. If the die is rolled one time, what is the probability of rolling a 2? Now that's a question on probability. Let's quickly understand the concept first. Okay, so what's the concept? Just to review or refresh, probability of an event is nothing else but number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes, right? Total number of outcomes. So the question gives that total number of outcomes are from 1 through 14, right? When a die is rolled, it's rolled one time. So how many choices are there or how many outcomes are there? Total number of outcomes, can we say the denominator will be 14? Anyone can come, right? Anyone number can appear on the face of the die. So that will be 14. What are the favorable? So favorable is the question. What is the probability of rolling a 2? Now, how many 2s are there? There is only one 2, right? Out of 1, 2, 3, 4 till 14, how many 2s are there? Only favorable, that is 1. So 1 over 14 being the correct one, that is option A is the correct. Let's now move. Okay, now starting with the question, it says that a printer produces posters at a constant rate of 42 posters per minute. At what rate in posters per hour does the printer produce the posters? That means, can we say that's the concept asked here is actually unit conversion, right? Why? Because in 1 minute, the printer is able to produce, in 1 minute, the printer is able to produce 42 posters. And the question says, at what rate in posters per hour? That means in 1 hour, how many posters can be created? So if in 1 minute, 42 posters can be printed. So in 60 minutes, right? What will be in 60 minutes? It will be 60 times 42 posters will be there in 60 minutes. These many posters. And how much is this? 0 here, 6, 12, 24, and 25. That means 2,520 posters can be printed in 1 hour, right? So that means that's the rate. What's the speed or a rate? That will be nothing else but 2520 posters, 2520 posters per hour in 1 hour. So directly the concept asked is based on unit conversion. You just have to convert units. So 1 hour is 42 posters in 1 minute is 42 posters. So in 60 minutes, it will be just the 60 times 1 minute number of the posters. So that will be the answer here, 2520. Now let's move. Okay, now starting with the question. The function f is defined by the equation fx is equal to 7x plus 2. What is the value of fx when x is equal to 4? So that the concept asked here is based on functions, right? They are asking about the functions. So that is in generic, the concept of functions is y is equal to fx. What is x? X is known as all the possible values of x are the domain of that. Okay, so what's a domain? Domain is all the possible values of x, possible values of x, values of x. And what is range? Range is nothing else but all the possible values of y. So that is the range, possible values of the variable y. So coming back to the question gives there is a function fx that is 7x plus 2. And what is the value of x here? That is given as 4. So just substituting here 4. So what will be f4? That will be 7 times 4 plus 2. That is 28 plus 2, which is going to be 30. That's the answer here. Let's now move to the next. It says that a teacher is creating an assignment worth 70 points. The assignment will consist of questions worth 1 point and questions worth 3 points. Which equation represents this situation where x represents the number of 1 point questions and y represents the number of 3 point questions? Okay, so if we understand, so that's an algebraic question where the total points which are given, that is to be distributed as 70 between these two type of the questions which have 1 point. And how many questions are there of 1 point? X are the number of the questions which are of 1 point each. So the total for 1 point questions, what will be the points? So points for 1 point questions, how many points will be there? That will be the number of the question multiplied by the points which it has. So x multiplied by 1, that is going to be x points will be there. Similarly, what will be the points for 3 points, 3 point questions? So how many 3 point questions are there? There are y questions which are of each of 3 points. So the total points for y questions will be 3y. That is 3y. That means the sum of these two, that is x plus 3y, that is nothing else but the total points. And the total points is given as 70. That means x plus 3y is actually equal to 70. That's the correct one. Option D being the correct answer here. Let's now write triangle LMN and PQR are similar, where L and M corresponds to P and Q respectively. Angle M has a measure of 53 degrees. What is the measure of angle Q? Now the concept tested here is similarity, right? And what's the concept? That is, if two triangles are similar, right? Let's take an example. If two triangles are similar, let's say ABC, how is similar to PQR? They are only similar when their corresponding angles are equal. Okay, if let's say angle A is equal to angle P and angle B is equal to angle Q, right? If two angles are equal, then you can say that the two triangles are similar to each other, right? Minimum two angles should be equal in order to get. So if the triangles are similar, the ratio of their corresponding sides is equal. Okay, so what does this mean? Opposite to angle A, the side length is BC. Opposite to angle P, the side length is QR, is equal to, that's the ratio of the corresponding sides. Angle B opposite is AC. Angle Q opposite is PR. And last angle, that is angle 3, which is angle C, is equal to angle R. So angle C opposite side is AB, and angle CR opposite side is PR. So these are the corresponding sides ratio, and they are going to be equal. So that's the concept which is tested here. Let's understand and go back to the question. So they are saying that LMN, let's take a triangle LMN. They are similar to PQR. That means PQR and L and M corresponds to P and Q. So L and M angle corresponds to P. That means L angle is equal to angle P, and angle M is actually equal to angle Q. And angle M is given as 53 degrees. If angle M is 53, definitely angle Q will be 53. That was the question. What is the measure of angle Q, which is 53? That means option B being the correct one. In the question, there are two equations which are given to you, right? Y is equal to negative 3x, 4x plus y is equal to 15. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of x, right? So that's a linear equation. Now in linear equation, there are the tested concept is going to be how to solve, right? And there are two approaches. First approach, which is there, is known as substitution approach. And the second approach to solve two equation is elimination approach, right? These are the two approaches. Let's now solve the question with respect to substitution. So the first approach, so y is equal to minus 3x. That means in the second equation, which is 4x plus, y can be now substituted as minus 3x here. So that is minus 3x is equal to 15. So this will be 4x minus 3x. That is going to be x only. So that means x is equal to 15. That will be the answer here. Actually, the value for x comes out to be option C, right? A simpler one, you could also try solving with the elimination. Let's quickly solve this. So first equation can be written as 3x plus y is equal to 0 like this. Second equation written as 4x plus y is equal to 15. Let's now eliminate y because we require x and y coefficient are same. So let's eliminate y by subtracting. If we subtract, y will get cancelled out. 3x minus 4x is minus x, and 0 minus 15 is minus 15. Negative gets cancelled out. X is equal to 15 again. You should know both. Obviously that the time will be same using both the approaches, but just see whichever question requires which approach, be it a substitution or be it an elimination approach. Let's now start. Equation is the most appropriate linear model for the data shown in the scatter plot. And there is a scatter plot if we understand. And the concept tested here is understanding of the scatter plot. Now, there are some data points which are given to you, right? So there is a, if you understand, there's a negative slope, right? It's going down. You just need to figure out that what will be the equation of this particular linear form or the linear function, right? The concept also will be that if we extend this linear and the point where this line intersects the y-axis, this is y-axis, this is x-axis, this will be known as y-intercept, right? And the point where it intersects, the line intersects the x-axis is x-intercept. Now, starting with the question, so can we say that what will be the y-intercept at x is equal to 0? Right? Let's try substituting x is equal to 0. Our y will be very close to 10, right? It will be if we try to plot the line, and that should intersect the y-axis at 10, almost at 10 point something. Now option A, let's substitute x as 0. So if we substitute x as 0, y comes out to be how much? If x is equal to 0, y will be negative 10.1. Is it negative 10.1? No, it is on the positive y-axis. It is not the correct one. Option B, let's substitute again x as 0. Now, if x is 0, y comes out to be 10.1, a good option to hold on with, right? Let's hold this. Try substituting option C. Now, if we substitute option C as x as 0, let's substitute. So y again comes out to be minus 10.1, which is not the case. We understood y has to be positive. Option D, substitute x as 0. So if x is 0, y comes out to be 10.1. Now we are left with B and D. Now what will be this point? This point, right? That's the x-intercept. At x-intercept, y will be 0. Let's now substitute in option B and D, y as 0, and see to it how much we get x as. So this point should be nothing else but x should be very, very close to 5.5 something around this, positive 5.5, and y is 0. That will be the point. Let's substitute this and see to it that whether when y is equal to 0, x comes out to be 5.5 or not, in which of the option. Okay. If it comes out to be closer to 5.5 x, that will be the correct answer. Let's try option B now. Why? Because we are only left with B and D. So if we substitute x as 0, let's substitute x as 0. So how much will be y? How much will be, no, not x as 0, y as 0. Let me change it to y as 0 here. So if y is 0, so can we say that if y comes out to be 0, so negative 9, negative 1.9x is equal to negative 10.1, right? Why? Because 10.1 goes on the left-hand side. So it'll be negative 10.1. And this will be x comes out to be 10.1 divided by 1.9. 10.1 very close to 10, 1.9 very close to 2. So we are getting approximately 5 point something. Yeah, means we require 5 point something itself. So B is the good one. Let's try eliminating D as well. Y is equal to 0. If y is 0, so 1.9x is equal to minus 10.1. X can't be negative any time, right? It comes out to be negative 5. It is not the positive slope, it is a negative slope. So option D gets cancelled out. We are left with option B. That will be with the question. It says that the graph of y is equal to fx is shown where the function f is defined as fx is equal to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, where a, b, c, d are constants. How many values of x does fx is equal to 0? So that's the concept which is asked is now functions, and we discussed y is equal to fx, right? What is y is equal to fx? That means we are talking about this is x, this is y-axis, which is nothing else but fx. Right? So the question says that fx is equal to 0. That means y is equal to 0. In this, where is y equal to 0, right? At these points, y is 0. So how many values are there for x? Can we say the x will be here minus 1, one of the value at x is equal to 0, x will be minus 1, or it could be 4, or x could be 7. So these are the possible values for x, minus 1, 4, or 7. That means there are 3 possible values, option C being the correct one here. Now let's move to the next. Vivian bought party hats and cupcakes for $71. Each package of party hat costs $3 and each cupcake cost $1. If Vivian bought 10 packages of party hats, how many cupcakes did she buy? So what she is buying is total cost, if we understand, that is going to be 71. So it's the concept which is tested is the equation part, right? So you have you have the total cost, that is 71. One party had costed 3. So that means what will be the total cost of the party hats? Why? Because she's having 10 packages and one package is for 3. So that means 10 packages of party hats. So cost of party hats is nothing else but 3 times 10, right? One party had costs $3, and that the packages she is having is 10 packages of the party and one package is for 3. So total party had costed $30. Got this? Similarly, each cupcake costs $1. And how many cupcakes? Let's say she purchases X cupcakes. So what will be the cost of cupcakes? Cost of cupcakes must be 1 multiplied by the number of cupcakes, $1 each, and there are X cupcakes. So that will be 1 times X, which is X dollars. Now the total of party hats plus party hats, that is $30, plus the cupcakes, that is X. This should be equal to the total she has spent. That means X is nothing else but 71 minus 30, which is going to be 41. That will be the correct answer here. Let's do plus 10z minus 24 is equal to 0. What is one of the solutions to the given equation? Now that means this is a quadratic, right? The concept tested is quadratic, and under quadratic they are trying to quadratic equation. You have to solve this quadratic equation, right? Now there are many approaches. First is quadratic formula. The second is middle term splitting. I'll write quadratic formula. You can use formula to find out the value of X, or middle term splitting, middle term, right? That's the way. Or you can use a scientific calculator or the on-screen calculator, maybe the offline calculator which you will carry to the center, or the online calculator, which is the Desmos calculator, which you can use. Now starting with the question, that is z raised to power 2 plus 10z minus 24 is equal to 0. Let's try solving with middle term splitting, right? Because this is the most powerful way of solving quadratic equation. Now, what is the value of, let's quickly understand the concept and how to approach, right? So our general equation, I'll write here, general equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, c is the constant. So what is a value here? A value, that is 1. What is the value of b? That is 10. What is the value of c? That is minus 24. Now you have written down ABC. Next step, just multiply A into C. So when you multiply A into C, your answer will be 1 into minus 24, which is negative 24. Now, a third step, factorize 24. So what are the factors of the number 24? 2, 12, 2, 6, and 2, 3. So the factors of the number 24 is going to be 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. So how can we split the middle term, which is 10 here? Can we say that if we take 12, 4 3s are 12, and subtract 2 from it, right? 12 minus 2, that is going to be 10. Using the factors, we are splitting the middle term. So z square, 10 can be written as 12z minus 2z minus 24 is equal to 0, like this. Z taken common, so what is left is z plus 12 from the first bracket, z taken common from the two terms. From the next two terms, minus 2 taken common, z plus 12 is equal to 0. Now z plus 12 can be taken common, and what is left is z minus 2 is equal to 0. That means z will be either equal to minus 12 or will be equal to 2. That's the answer. It says one of the solutions. So you can either write 2 or minus 12 as an answer. Both will be the correct ones. Now let's try solving the next